Anyway, so how to keep your relationship spicy? It's all about, keeping things fresh and new. What I'm going to do is really just go from another angle, which is, absolutely, I do feel it's really important to keep your relationship, fresh. But what I would say, we have several different levels within a relationship. You have the spiritual aspect. There's the emotional aspect, which which we'll talk on a little bit. The mental and the physical. We all know the physical. We all know the attraction when you see that person for the first time, and all the thoughts that go through your mind. So what I really want to say is, certainly there's many books being written on about how to attract, how to keep keep your partner happy on the physical, but we don't really talk a lot, or I don't think we realise how important it is to deal with the emotional part of our relationship, because that's where a lot of the problems tend to come in, and although people come into the relationship happy, ready to bring the best of themselves in the early stage, things sometimes fall apart. So we've got the honeymoon phase, which is what most people are talking about when they say, I would like my relationship to be happy and warm and full of love, and how it was back in the beginning. So people always refer back to the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase is given to us. It's a gift. It's a magic, love potion from Mother Nature. Mother Nature gives us this gift so that we can procreate and populate her planet. But it runs out. It doesn't last forever. And so, you get to the point where, you have to decide, okay, this person is not this perfect person that I thought they were. You take the pink coloured glasses off and you realise this is a fallible human being, but you decide, what, your negative traits, I can live with that. You've got enough positive traits that I want, or I can live with. And so you decide to build the relationship. And I think that's where a lot of the problems come from. Love or relationships can get stale. And especially into today's world where there's so much distractions, there's so much temptations. A lot of people feel, that they probably, it's a losing battle. But really, it's like anything that you focus on. If you're going to do a study, if you're going to take on a subject, you can start it, you'll be excited, but, it's the people that stick with it through thick and thin. It's the people who keep on keeping on. And it's the same with your relationship. What you've got to do is get to know your partner, study your partner, and communicate. Communication is very, very important. If you look at the word communication, it comes from the word commuting, and commuting is moving forward, and communication helps to move the relationship forward because you're understanding each other, understanding each other, and overstanding each other. So it's about realizing that this is an animated person. This is not, a one-dimensional person. And people are going to change. People are going to grow. Hopefully people are going to grow. So coming back to the question, keeping things spicy. It is about obviously the physical things, keeping things fresh. It's also about, doing things in a different way, understanding that you are both spiritual, and physical. And spirit loves diversity, loves change, loves new things, So the spiritual part of each person, wants to have fun, wants to enjoy. Don't go on the same old, tired dates. Do different things. and study about relationships, study what you can do to freshen things up. But also what I find is very, very important is when you have visions, dreams and desires that you're working towards. So you have plans for the future. And one of the things that's really important is to have goals, not just one goal and then when you achieve it, we're done now. Because that's what happens to people. People, will get married and spend, on the wedding day, that's where all the energy goes. That's where all the time is spent, all the money is spent. And then, after that, in the marriage, it's like, people think, well, I've arrived, and they don't realise that that is actually where the work starts. The work starts when you realise that your partner is a real, human being with a personality, and there's things you're not going to like about them, and there's things that you obviously will love about them. And it's about being able to balance the two, and know that, it's okay when your partner is not perfect, and because you're not perfect. And it's about having contingency plans for that. So what I would say that is very good to do is to have a safe space in your relationship where you can talk about things that are difficult, because once things come in and they start to eat away, so you're not, one person is not feeling very happy or feeling as though their needs are being met, and if it's not addressed, then things start to fall apart. So it's really important to plan in advance and know that, I'm going to get into a relationship, it's going to be lovely, but there's going to be parts of it where it's not so lovely. So once you know in advance, you can set up a plan that, every week or once a month or once every 2 months, you have this safe space where you both meet and talk about moving your relationship forward. So with visions, dreams and desires, it's like things that you both want to do, the things you want to do together, and also your own personal dreams and vision. Those are the things that actually keep you excited, keep you growing, because one of the things about relationship is you mustn't get stagnant, you mustn't get stale and mouldy. It's really important to always have new things, that you plan for together, and that you on a personal level have your own personal goal, because what you're doing is you're coming together as one mind. So you're coming together with things that are important to both of you, but then you're also keeping there's things that is important to just you and just your partner, so that you are still you, but you are also joined with this, other person to create, another element, because understanding that relationship is a living, organic entity. It's not something that, it's just this dead thing. It's alive, and the relationship itself wants to grow. So, to answer Tiana's question there, I would say definitely realise that it's about keep on working on yourself. If both parties are working on themselves and bringing the best of themselves to the relationship, they're working on themselves physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually, then they will have a great relationship. Yes, it's not going to be perfect, because we're not perfect beings, we're human beings, and the human side of us is imperfect. But if you work at it, you will definitely see that if you work on yourself, you will see that things will get better, because the relationship is only as good as the two people in it. And remember that your partner is always is a mirror holding you up and showing you, revealing yourself to you. So when you understand that, again, you will see, your partner's behaviour is reflecting back to you, and the way you respond or react is showing you who you are and where you are in your healing journey. And that's another thing I would say. Healing should be something that we practice all the time, because our emotional body is where we store things, and those things will come out in the relationship and, will taint the relationship. So it's really important to work on those things. So, I don't know if I've answered the question. Like I said, I didn't want to kind of go into all the things, the romantic things that you can do, because I think most people know those things. And there's so many books, there's so many blogs, online to answer that. But I think it's about understanding that, there's many levels of a person, and that if both people are constantly growing and progressing, then everything starts to work.
The Imani Speak Show, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday nights on ConsciousRadio.com.